back to the 5 Minute Tech channel. Today we'll continue on our journey on learning C# design patterns, and today we'll be talking about one of the behavioral pattern, which is the command pattern. So let's get started. So we have this list of design patterns which we'll be trying to understand and learn as we go through in this series. And today we will be talking about the command pattern, which is one of the patterns which is a way to communicate between classes and objects. So what is the intent of the command pattern? Which is to encapsulate a request as an object, thereby letting you parameterize clients with different requests, queue or long requests, and support undoable operations. So this was the basic intent of the command pattern. Command pattern UML diagram. So you have a client which calls a receiver. Receiver has concrete commands to implement the command which is set out, and those concrete command have a base command implementation which is called by the invoker. So command declares an interface for executing an operation. Concrete commands, which is maybe more than one, defines a binding between the receiver object and an action, and implements execute by invoking corresponding operation on receiver. Client creates a concrete command object and sets its receiver, whereas invoker asks the command to carry out the request. The receiver, on the other hand, knows how to perform the operation associated with carrying out the request. So today we will be getting into a demo wherein I will be working with a document reader scenario, wherein something like an open, close, save kind of operations is done on the document. So let's get started with the demo. So here am I in the Visual Studio. I've created a simple console application, and I'll be trying to code in the command pattern with a simple document reader example. So first of all, we'll be creating is a receiver. The receiver object is a simple class. And it has different operations which you can do on it, which is like an open. For simplicity purpose, we'll just do a console.writeLine. And same way we will write three more actions. One is another one is save, and then the next one is close. So these are the basic three operations which a receiver will be performing. So let's move on to the next one, which is commands. The command. Now this will be an interface which has the command which gets executed. So for simplicity, we will keep it as execute command. Void execute. The next one is the concrete commands which will implement this I command. So let's write the concrete command. Let me keep this open. So it is like the first command. In this one, what we will do is we will go ahead and create a public open command, and this will inherit from I command. We'll create an object of the document. Document document. We'll create a constructor. The constructor will initialize this document command. And then we will do a execute, implement the interface of which is public void execute. And this execute will have your document dot open. Similarly, we will have two more concrete commands, which is save and close. So let's do that as well. I'll just copy this 2 times more. Save command, and save. And similarly, I'll do for concrete command C, which is your close command. So we open, we do some more changes, we save it, and then we close the document. So this is the flow. Close command. Next is your invoker. This is the invoker, which is something like a menu option. So in this one, what we will do is, again, this will be a class itself. Class menu option, something which you get in the menu. You will create the 3 I command objects. So we will do is let's create I command, open command. Similarly, we'll create close command and then the save command. And the next one is we'll create the constructor. In the constructor, we will pass we will initialize all these. So I command, and this is open. And then I command. This is save. We do now is open command, open, close command closed, and save command, save. The next one is we will do the operation. For example, something like a click open, click save, and click close. So that is the menu options we will get. So let's do that. Public void click open, and in here we will open command dot execute. Similarly, we will have two more actions, which is click save and click close. Now to consume all this, we will write a client. We'll go back to the top wherein we have a simple console.writeLine, and we'll write a client here. So let's get started with region client. And the client will be creating a first document object, new document, and then the I commands is the open command. Is equal to new open command and pass the document. This one should be small. Similarly, we'll create two more commands. We have save command, save, and then we have the close command. Next, we'll create that invoke option, that menu option, the invoker object. New is equal to new menu option, and we'll pass the three commands. First one is open command, so we pass the open command, save command, and then we have the close command. And then we'll perform the three operations. Menu dot click open, click save, click close. Then we'll do a console dot read. So this is the whole implementation. We began with the receiver and we wrote certain operations with receiver will do. Then we wrote a command interface for the command which performs an operation, and then we wrote the concrete commands which implements the I command and does with specific actions. We had three concrete commands, and then we had the invoker which creates the object of the I command, and then based on that, on what actions is needed, it will perform those events. And then at the end we have the client which creates those I command objects and passes it to the menu option, which is the invoker, and calls the functions on them. So let's execute this. Now we are getting the three console.write lines: document open, saved, and closed. So this was a very simple implementation wherein you can perform more operations. This was just a console.write line. The other ways you can implement further in-depth functionalities. Moving on, when to use the command pattern: when you need to parameterize objects with an action to perform. The command pattern can encapsulate the action as an object, enable dynamic assignment and execution of actions. Now, decoupling the object that initiates a request sender from an object that performs the request, that is the receiver, as you saw in our demo. When you need to queue an operation, log changes, or support undoable operations. So one of the commands I wanted to undo, the close command probably. So that can be undoable. And the commands can be stored and replayed or reversed as needed, providing significant control over the functionality. When implementing callback functionality in application, where a callback is essentially a command that executes at a later point in time. And in GUI applications, where actions performed by the user can be reversed or undone or reapplied or redone. So each actions can be encapsulated as a command that can be undone and redone repeatedly. When implementing transactional behavior, where a series of actions needs to be treated as a single atomic operation, then also we can use command pattern. In scenarios where an application needs to be extended with a new command without changing the existing code, that is a loose coupling. So these are some of the ways where you can use the command pattern. How to implement command pattern? As you saw in the demo, we first create a receiver and then we follow it with creating a command wherein we declare a one method and then create an invoker. invoker will receive the commands that cannot handle that request. So there is one and only responsibility of the invoker is to call the execute method on the receiver object, and step 4, the client, where we create the instance of the receiver object and do the operations. The use case of command pattern is in some financial transactions, as we just talked about, workflow management, macro recording and playback, and something like a game engines. The pros and cons of command pattern: separation of concern. As you saw, we have different commands written and there was separation of concern. Extension: new commands can be added without, so it is completely decoupled. We can just write new commands and plug them in. Undo and redo operation. Composite command: you can compose multiple commands into a single command, and then undo and redo operations, as we discussed, which can be performed using a command pattern. The additional layers are introduced when you write command pattern that kind of increases the complexity. So that is something like a con side. Yeah. Related pattern to command pattern. There are some simple like patterns which are related to command pattern, like a chain of responsibility which passes a request along a chain of receivers. Mediator pattern which eliminates direct connection altogether. An observer pattern which allows receiver of request to unsubscribe at runtime itself. So that was pretty much about the command pattern. I hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, do press like and subscribe to the channel. Have a nice day.